Fix It friends. This is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I am slightly under the weather, but nevertheless, I am here to show y'all this Baby Love Science book set. And this is its little books about big ideas. And I think somewhere to know the other book set that I have is the STEM Baby. So I'm showing y'all this because I have not opened it. So I decided at first I thought I was going to have Monica play with this a little bit and give me some of her impressions and interaction with the book, but I thought it might be cool to show y'all my own initial impressions as a mommy looking at these books. So just checking out the case and the cover. This just again says Baby Love Science, little books about big ideas. And in this set, we have coding, aerospace engineering, gravity, and thermodynamics. I think we have some individual books from this set that may have come in Monica's Amazon book box subscription that I got. You can have those set from like 0 to 3 years old, and then I think they have a 3 to 6, so on and so forth, like up through the ages. So it's also interesting to me here. I noticed that it says that it has an exclusive alphabet poster inside. This alphabet poster looks really reminiscent to me of the what is it? Periodic table of elements. So it's just all the different letters with that kind of traditional A is for apple, B is for baby. Let's see if I can zoom in and bring that into focus for y'all. Yeah, there we go. So that's cool. So I'm going to pause this right now and then open up the set and let you know what I think as soon as I open it. So as Monica would say, let's open it. Okay, this is exactly how it looked whenever I opened the box set. So this ABC poster, or what is it? What do they call it on the box? The exclusive alphabet poster is here. And it's just regular old, like poster paper. It's not really a thick cardstock, so that might be one critique I would give of this. And it's a decent size. It's larger than like your standard printer paper, 8.5 by 11. But if you have access to a larger laminate machine, like sometimes they have at public libraries, I would take this and get this laminated. I would not leave this as regular paper, because if your toddler is like my toddler, if your child is like my child, she sometimes has very aggressive tendencies, and she might just grab this and rip it in half, and then the poster is for naught. So I would say first recommendation, just initial impression, if you do get this set and you want to keep it, have it in the like play area, learning space for your child, I would definitely get this laminated. I would look into either going to a local school, elementary school, library. Sometimes they have the laminate machines. Maybe if your teacher looks out for the cookout, you can get it laminated. Or even if this was in a classroom, teachers, I would definitely say take this to the library, get it laminated, just that you can use it ongoing and not have an incident in your classroom with it being destroyed. And if not, sometimes, again, public libraries, as a person who used to work in my public library in my hometown and in my I worked in the public library in Chapel Hill as well, one summer when I was in school, as well as working on campus at the library. Sometimes we have access to different things, and folks don't always know all of the different resources available through our libraries. But many of them, because of the things we have to do with books and for books, have lamination machines. Back to the actual books here. Just threw in that little Fix It Fran tip for some lanyard. This baby loves thermodynamics. So like I said in one of my earlier videos, at first I didn't start these with Monica, and these kind of stayed in the box because I felt like I wanted her to, get a little more vocabulary in her life, and that I didn't know if these terms would be too complex or whatever for her to grasp. But looking at it now, I feel like this would be great for babies because it really starts off with some basic things and is very much on an age-appropriate level. Just the good morning sun. Again, y'all know I'm big on my illustrations, so I love all these little just dots and elements of the sun rays, seeing these little pixels and points, but also the like wavy just illustration in the background. I like that depth of an image for kids to look at, because you can look at the dots, you can talk about the colors, you can talk about the rays of the sun and if that's hot and just stuff like that. Anything that gets you talking to your kids more, talking to your baby, talking to your toddler more is beneficial. Looking at the sun shining on the trees. So I love too, this is kind of like that early introduction to photosynthesis and the relationship between the sun and sunlight and plants and how it helps them grow. So I'm going to flip through this some more. And, it's just talking about our ecosystem here. The sun, the air, the water, all of that being food for the trees. Again, more about photosynthesis, how plants work and use and all that good stuff. And then, talking about the seasons. So which book is this again? This is Thermodynamics. So cool. I feel like, that's very approachable for young kids, toddlers, even babies to just start hearing some of this stuff. One prime example of that, at least for me with Monica, is that when she was visiting with my family in North Carolina, they had this space book. And so when I came up to visit and she saw the book and she pulled it back out, she started saying, "It's a rocket ship. It's an astronaut." And that was when she was still 1 year old. So, hey, early exposure is key. Y'all will hear me say that a lot. And that's how that book kind of looks and wraps up. This book here on gravity. And all of these books are by Ruth Spiro. I think they are also all illustrated by Irene Chan. Baby drops a noodle, plop. I do also really like the diversity in these books. It seems like there's always representation of different ethnicities, different nationalities. So that is super cool. I have started having conversations with Monica about more and less, and if something's heavy or light. So you can do that even with a 2-year-old or younger. These conversations are good to be having, and it helps, again, with their comprehension, language development, understanding. I love this. Again, since Monica likes space and is very much into astronauts and planets and stars, this will be a great book for her to have. And you can even do simple conversations about gravity, like up and down and those differences. So I like that one. So far, I'm not being disappointed. Coding is a special one. I did want Monica to have this because my husband, her daddy, is a computer engineer. And we laughed because I remember telling him when we were dating and talking about things that I did coding. I mean, most of us do have some exposure to that if we are in a good school with different technology programs. But I remember even when I was the kid that got my VTech laptop for Christmas, when it had the steps about coding in it, like I loved doing that. I loved coding in that way, even when we did the little stuff with the graphics calculators and learn how to make them like draw pictures and do different activities, like entering in all those little codes. And I guess for the calculator, it was more like equations, was really fun for me. She also loves trains. So again, just these vivid colors and pictures. I do really, really like the illustrations. And I'm that kind of person where if I like illustrations by a certain person, sometimes folks work in collaboration and they'll usually have books together. But other times you can do searches on Amazon just by the name of the illustrator as well. I do follow different authors and illustrators in that way. So you can go in, search for either person, decide you want to see what other things Amazon has available. Y'all know I say Amazon because that's kind of like where I always shop. And you can do the same for the illustrators. So you can look, follow this person. If they do show up in the system, which this one should, you'll be able to see their profile. And then when you see their profile, to the right of the profile will be a little checkbox where you can decide that you want to follow them. And when you follow someone, you'll get updates about any new releases that they have. You'll get updates about any publications. If there's been a revised edition, things like that will show up in your email and in your Amazon feed. So it's another way to tell the algorithm on Amazon what you like and what you want to see more of. So this is pretty cool. When we talk about the YouTube algorithm, this may help all of us learn a little bit more on an age-appropriate level for toddlers, as well as something that can be easily understood by adults. So this is really cool. Really, really cool. Another one. So that's 3 out of 4. And Aerospace Engineering, I also wanted to get from Monica because, as I've said, she has decided that she likes planes and rockets and all those things. And she is the next generation in a long line of engineers in my husband's family. So we don't know what Monica's going to be, but we want to make sure we get her exposed to things so she knows about different career options and gets this information just in general. I'm blabbing at this point, but I want to keep flipping through this book so that y'all can see it, so that if you had any questions about it, even too on Amazon, well, maybe I need to stop because I don't know if I'm giving away too much of the text. So we'll skip a couple pages now because I don't want any copyright issues, but so pretty, so cool. And I love even these simple little equations that you can talk through with your child. So there are more books in the series. So this one only included gravity, coding, the thermodynamics and the aerospace engineering. I think someone gave us structural engineering because her godfather's wife, bonus godmom, I think is a structural engineer. Oh, I think structural. I think I remember that right. So there's, again, lots of engineers in the family. I feel like my mother-in-law has a physics degree or a PhD in physics or something like that. Like, there's a lot that's going on. No, it's biophysics. Something. Scientists are in the family and the extended family in our friend circle. So this will be fun to have different things she can read over. And if I do go back and find this in her library upstairs, I'll come back and let y'all know about that too. So this is my quick little rundown of this baby science gift set that we received as a part of Monica's baby registry. I think it may have been my sister-in-law that got this, but I could be wrong. But I think it's a great set. You saw and heard some of my initial impressions of it. I'll wrap up on that note. If you do have questions or anything that you want to drop, please do leave it in the comments. And if I can help give you my additional feedback or other insights that I think about after this video, I certainly will do so. It's my pleasure to. As always, this is Fix It with Fran, where I talk about all things faith, family, food, and fun. I truly, truly, truly do believe that God has given us all gifts and talents that can fix some problem that exists in the world. And while we may not be able to fix everything, I want to remind and encourage you to remember that we can all fix something. So till next time, I pray that you would find that thing and fix it. Check back next Saturday where I'll be back with another book selection and my recommendation of some of the best books for toddlers. Thanks for watching, y'all. See you next time. Bye.